All right, we are on our way to go pick up a 2005 Honda TRX450. So I guess this thing is decked out with all these aftermarket parts, upgraded suspension, lightly ported. It's got the kibble white valves. I think it's big bore, 13-to-1 compression.
Straight to stay on Wisconsin 73 North.
So it's pretty crazy. But I guess the guy said that there's like a ticking sound. He doesn't know if it's the cam chain or the valves. So he said the price was $2,500. He said he's pretty firm on that price. So we will see when we get there. I'm gonna try to film, like always, and we'll see if he can tell us a backstory on it. But yeah, I hope it starts when I get there. He said it's kind of torn apart, so we will see. Really nice collection going. Got a Honda 300. What is that one?
300's up top, 450, a 400.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
You wanted to get rid of the 450?
What's that?
The one you're selling?
Yeah, I don't know, move to something different.
Yeah. So what's going on with it, you think?
I think the timing chain's got some slap to it. I got it. The guy said he couldn't get it running. I pulled it apart, got the timing going, or got timing in spec. He had it 180 off, and the timing tensioner was junk, so it jumped time. So you could never get it to fire, of course. And so yeah, basically I got it on time, bought a new timing tensioner for it. But I think the chain stretched from all the time that it was obviously bad.
Yeah.
So, tank's just sitting on there if you want to pull it off and look at it or whatever. I just had it sitting on there.
Is it leaking any oil? Looks like there's a big leak right there.
That was from prior, from something else. This one, right here, I filled both sides last night, and obviously probably missed. You can see them run down, but I filled both sides just to be sure it had enough oil in it.
Okay.
To make sure it wasn't an oil issue or anything, but.
Okay.
And then this here is the hot start that they put in. They put an aftermarket hot start in, never hooked it up the rest of the way because guessing they needed the end for it, or the adjuster. So it just goes in there.
Okay. Looks like somebody put some money into it.
Yeah, the guy I got it from, they did the head's got brand new kibble white valves. It's got light port work in it, not a lot. 13.5-to-1 compression piston and cylinder was new.
What kind of piston was in it?
I'd have to ask, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what he said it was.
Okay.
Actually, I might be able to find it.
Did you ever tear it down completely?
I never tore it down, no.
Okay. So you think it's... You're pretty sure it's timing chain then?
Yeah, it's timing chain slap for sure. I almost bet on it. The head was, when the valves were done in, the guy had it all checked and, clayed to make sure everything was good there. And they obviously shimmed it there, so it's not a valve noise. I'm pretty positive it's chain. And like I said, the tensioner was garbage. I don't know.
Was it the spring was garbage or what?
Yep, right here.
Yeah, a lot of them fail. On Honda, a lot of them fail. I've seen a lot fail.
It has nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
So I bought another one and put it in there, and it made it obviously run and not jump time, but I think the chain stretched.
Still stretched, yeah.
Yeah.
Does it have an aftermarket clutch as well?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay, because it's got the cover on there.
I've seen that in a bunch of the covers and everything. I mean, someone stuck money into it for sure.
Yeah, these shocks are expensive.
Yeah, it's got stage.
They're older ones, but.
Yep, stage 3 Elka's front and rear. It's got an Elka rear link. It's got a full Rossi air pipe on it. It's got +3 A-arms. It's got a G-force rear axle.
Yeah.
The stem was the only thing I didn't care for. Somebody cut it and extended it, the steering stem.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't too fond of that. I mean, I've seen people do it, but
yeah,
it would have never been the way I would have done it. But
can't you just get bar raisers for it?
Oh yeah, you can, but a lot of people do that. I mean, you can buy an aftermarket stem for probably $120.
Yeah.
Especially used. I mean, it didn't have a lot of player. It wasn't real weak, and I was gonna build it for ice racing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I have like I think 16 snow wheels and all the other lures, so
Yeah, you're busy.
kind of, yeah. Running out of energy to work and everything.
Did you say that was an aftermarket carb?
No,
Okay.
that's the new stock one.
Oh, okay. All right. Then you have all the plastics for it and
Yep,
everything.
the air box is sitting there, or the rest of the air box is there, all the old valves. I have the roof plastics and seats in here.
Do you have the lights by chance or no?
I do not. I never got the light, but I might have one in the shed from all our other ones.
Okay.
'Cause that's the first thing we take off of them,
Oh, okay.
is the lights, so. Oh, and so I figured out this is backwards, so when it's off, it's on. When it's on, it's off. That's what was
Oh,
the first. I sat there and kicked for 20
Oh.
minutes to figure that out.
so off is on. Okay.
Off is run.
Okay, just keep it off
On is
then.
off, yeah.
Okay. Will it start up?
It should, yeah.
Okay.
Just give
I'll
it a
put
couple
this down.
pumps and it should
You
fire.
want to just hold that for a second? Need the choke on?
Choke should be on, I think.
Okay.
Just give it a couple pumps and it should fire.
Oh, it's not on. Okay.
No, gas is off.
And how does that choke work? Okay, it goes up like that.
Yep.
All right. Is the fan like hooked up to run all the time?
Yeah, they wired it direct so it ran like
Okay.
that, yep. And like I said, I might have a headlight for it. We just have to look in the shed, but it's the
Okay.
first thing we take off all ours, so. Fire this up.
Does it just randomly shut off sometimes like that?
No, choke's probably still on, probably just lowered up a little.
Oh,
bit.
okay.
I don't know how much gas is in it either, to be honest with you, but.
Oh yeah, choke was still on.
Yeah,
So it always ran good for you? Never had any problems?
Since I've had it, yeah, like I said, I got it running and I drove it around a few times, just whatever, but like I said, with that noise, I know it's a timing chain, I know it's stretched, so, cause when I put it back together and put the tension on, you could still move the chain a little bit, and I kinda
okay.
figured it was a little loose, but I just wanted to see if it would run, obviously, you know, I had an issue with it, but
Yeah, for sure.
like I said, I was gonna build it for ice, but I don't have enough time for that.
Yeah.
We're gonna snowmobile this year, I think, and take a nice season off.
Yeah.
We did it for a few years.
Oh wow, yeah, cool. Must have been pretty good.
Not really. I mean, I did all right, but not that great. And we ran studded rubber. My daughter runs studded. She just moved up to that 400 now. My son does it. My son's he's got a TRX with a CRF in it now.
That's
And
pretty
my
cool.
other son's got a TRX.
That's really cool. Looks like you guys do dirt biking too.
No, it's all four-wheeler. That's from
okay.
Atwater track down in Beaver Dam.
Oh, okay.
That's all it's basically a dirt bike track, and that's what they give you for trophies. So,
That's funny.
I don't know. Yeah, I've done dirt bikes when I was young. Other than that, it's all four-wheelers. I'm too fat for it now.
Very cool. Okay. Do you see the any of the cases are cracked or anything?
I did not hear. If you want to shut the gas off, we'll just flip her up.
Yeah, that would be great.
Pop her in here.
I've dealt with some of these where the cases are cracked and the...
Oh, there with the tank. As I said, probably have a light.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's cracked.
You can tell someone's been in there. It's got newer gaskets in it, but I was always going to clean it up, but I never obviously got to that, so.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Doesn't look cracked or anything.
Oh, yeah, I had the carb loose on there.
Oh, that's probably why
Yeah,
too.
I had it loose on there just because I tried I have a FCR too, for
Okay.
an 06 Plus, and I just wanted to be sure, because I was trying to get this thing running.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? And then I figured out that the tensioner was bad after a while. So yeah, I just have that. And here's the hot start.
Did he have that carb on there, or did you put that one on?
No, this he had with it.
Okay.
He said that the other one was pretty shot, he thought, so he bought a new one. And
Okay. So he probably couldn't get it started, bought the new carb.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, he said,
that's
and he knew what he was talking about. I mean, he seemed like he was pretty smart with it, you know. He knew what he was talking about and had everything
Like,
done.
I've
But he's
seen
like,
so-
I know it's something stupid. He's like, I know it is.
I've seen so many quads with the timing wrong like that, 180 out.
And that's exactly it. And that's what I told him. I was like, man, there's only one way this can be. There's no way. So I rolled it over, made sure timing on, made sure it was on. And I was 180 off, so I flipped it and I went to go, roll it over, and you could see the chain move, and I could move the crank without the cam moving. I'm like, man. So then I pulled the tensioner, and of course that was bad. So I got another tensioner, put her in there, got it set on time. I zip tied the cam to the chain to make sure it wouldn't jump time while I was trying to do that, and then pulled it out and worked out pretty good. And you can see, obviously, some of they're lightly ported, not hard, but
Oh yeah.
they just cleaned it up pretty much, whoever did it. Now it's got the new valves. It's got a stage 3 hot cam in it.
Wow, he really did put a lot of money into it.
Yeah, whoever was doing it right.
Yeah. Huh. What about the crank?
He told me it was a hot rod crank kit. I really didn't
Okay.
dig into it, but that's what he told me. So I
Okay.
thought I would.
So, like, it's never been run besides from when you started it?
Yeah,
It's brand new piston. Okay,
Yeah,
so
he
brand new
said
everything.
he got it all in there, got the head reseated and all the valves put in and everything.
Wow.
And he couldn't get it to run after that.
So I know I mentioned the price. I was thinking like 23, coming down a couple hundred. Just because I've got to put everything back together.
Honestly, the best I'd probably do is 24, otherwise I'll hold off, because I've had a lot of interest in it.
Yeah.
And I know
What
it's
are,
something stupid, you know.
what are people saying about it?
I don't know, I've had a lot of trades on it, but
Yeah.
there was a guy from Illinois that wanted to come last night at like 9 o'clock. He's like, I'll come right now. I'm like, I got a guy tomorrow. Then I had, like I said, a few trades on it, and I don't know.
Alright, I guess I'll buy it. 24. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Alright, next morning. Let's go check out the beast here. In the back of the truck. So I'm not really sure if this was a good deal. We're gonna go over all the aftermarket parts on it and just kind of add them up. But this guy put a lot of money into this thing. Yeah, there's a lot of aftermarket parts. I'm thinking the clutch is aftermarket as well, if he's got a cover on there. But he's got the aftermarket coolant lines. He's got the right here aftermarket, all the little bolts aftermarket. He's got the Elka suspension, the pipe, the bars, the grips, the Nerf bars, Bling Star Nerf bars. Yeah, Pro filter for the oil filter there. I'm not sure what the cylinder is, we'll have to look at that. But it looks pretty nice. Not too bad. Then you gave me the front headlight for it as well. Let's see. So we'll try to mount those up and see if those fit. I think that's for them. Pretty sure. He said that's the first thing they take off for racing. But the guy was really nice and he seemed trustworthy, so we will see. He did say it shifted through all the gears. He just said there's a lot of slapping going on. So, not really sure what that would be, either cam chain or valves. But we're gonna dig into the engine and just see what we can figure out. Hopefully it's an easy fix. There she sits. I'm gonna get the dog poop off the tires here before we take it in the garage. But we'll throw the plastics on and the tank on just to see what it kind of looks like completed here. Alright, there's kind of the completed look of it. Pretty sweet looking. Got the headlight in there. It's gonna look pretty cool, all finished up. And it is in fact a 2005. 10th digit is a 5. Yeah, pretty sharp looking machine. Alright, so we got the beast in the garage here. I'm gonna read the description that the guy had online. He said, bought it from a guy who put a new top end on. 13.5 to 1 cylinder. New kibble white valves, light port work and head, full rosier pipe, all Elka suspension with rear link and plus 3 A-arms. I figured out timing was off, adjusted that with new timing tensioner and got it to fire up. Sounds like valves are in need of adjustment or timing chain has slack. First 25 cash takes it. So I ended up getting it for 24, so he took off $100. He said he had a bunch of interest, a lot of trade offers for it. And it's just insane how many aftermarket parts are on this thing. So let's go over the whole thing, every aftermarket part on it, and then we'll add it up and see how much this guy spent in aftermarket parts. It's gonna be insane. So first of all, we've got the Elka suspension in the front and the rear. So full Elka suspension. You can see it, really nice. And then we've got the Pro Taper bars. They're a little bit higher up. We've got the MSR clutch lever. We've got, what are these bars? I don't know what these are. We've got the newer grips. Not sure what grips these are. Made in the USA it says, so they're probably pretty good. We've got the Pro filter cap. That's a new cap right there. I don't think those are anything special. We've got the TM design work guider right there, chain guide. We've got the Lone Star Racing sprocket guard. What else? We've got the pipe, full exhaust pipe on this thing. We have the what is this called? Bling something right here. Bling Star Industries Nerf bars. What kind of tires do we have? Duro tires. These are Fast Trekker tires, Titan. And then we've got the all new cables, it looks like, for this thing. We've got the Boyson Factory Racing cover. I'm sure we have a clutch in there as well. We've got the Moto hose for the lines. These caps are new, aftermarket. He said that there is a stage 3 cam in it. And then we've got the A-arms extended 3 inches. Not sure what brand these are. I think they're Alka. Front bumper looks stock. It's aluminum. Here's this one. Okay, so this is, I think is it Moto Force? Axle in the back. Not sure. And then we've got the new piston, new cylinder, and then we've got the kibble white valves, and then a brand new carb as well. Brand new key and carb for it in here. Let's see if I can take off the plastics here. So this thing's like fully loaded. It's just decked out completely. Let's get this gas tank on. You can see the brand new carb. Guess the previous owner bought that as well. You can see Keehan on the top, so it is genuine. I don't believe the cam cover is. It says Unicam. So that's pretty much it for aftermarket parts. Pretty much the whole machine is aftermarket, except for the frame. But then he gave me this box of all the older parts I think that were on it. So this is the head gasket. I believe that's the old one. Here's the tensioner. He said there was no spring to it, so that was junk. I've seen a lot of these fail, so it's pretty common. Petcock in there. It's the old petcock. Do you have a new one on the tank? You could add that to the parts list. Let's see. Is there a new petcock on here? Oh yeah, brand new petcock on there. So it must have been leaking or something. Something Tusk in there. Got kibble white exhaust valve. What's this one? Hot start plunger kit. Here are the old valves. They look good, don't they? So all the original valves. We've got those. We've got that box. At least we know for a fact there's new valves in there, or should be. Kibble white are pretty good, so that's awesome. And then we've got a brand new bolt kit he gave me, so that we can get the plastics on. So these are like 60 bucks for just the bolt kit. So that's really nice as well. So I did a quick eBay search and wrote down every aftermarket part on here, and then I added the piston in there as well and the carburetor, which are aftermarket. So we've got the Elka rear suspension I found online. Used ones were going for like 800 bucks for the rear, the whole setup there. Elka front suspension was like 1,500 bucks. This is just like a rough estimate. 13.5 to 1 piston was 200. I believe that's a stock cylinder, an OEM one, but it is new. I didn't add that in here. Kibble white valves were around 300 for the intake and the exhaust. Stage 3 hot cams was 270. The full, I think it's Rosier pipe, 500. That's for a used one. Plus 3 A-arms. I'm not sure what brand they are. I just put 600 bucks because that's what the Lone Star racing ones were going for. We've got the Lone Star sprocket guard, 60 bucks. Pro filter cap, 42. Keehan carb, that's a genuine Keehan carb, so that was going to be $360. The coolant lines were 30 for a set. Nerf bars were around 330 new, and then the chain guide right there was 60 bucks. So a total of $5,052 plus the cost of the machine. I don't know what you'd price that out at, but we're probably like right around $7,000 for this one, for this build. Oh, here we go. Outlaw Racing handguards, I'm not sure what those cost either. So we're up quite a bit. So I figured that was actually a pretty good deal. So, and we might have an aftermarket clutch. I didn't even add the cover in here either. So I'm guessing this is about 50 bucks or so, the cover. And we probably have a new clutch in there as well. So all in all, it added up pretty quick. See if she fires up here. Put the choke on. Ticking pretty good. But they routed the fan to turn on right when you start up the machine. So that's why the fan's kicking on. That's what he said. But you can hear the ticking in the top end. So what we're gonna do is just investigate that and just see if we can figure out why it's doing that. It's probably either valves or the cam chain, but I'm not sure. So this thing actually fired right up once we had the gas on it. So I know that spark is good. I know compression's good. We can still test compression just to see what we're at. But everything feels pretty decent. Let's get this cam cover off and just see what's going on with the cam. The hot start cable right here is kind of loose on here. We're gonna have to get that routed. And looks like there's oil coming out already. He did have this off, so he would know if there's a stage 3 cam in there. Not sure how he knew it was stage 3. That's what the inside of that cover looks like. Looks pretty good. No damage to anything yet that I see. Oh yeah, cam chain's still really loose. Holy cow. Cam chain's really loose. What the heck? Let's see. I'm not seeing where it says hot cam. Oh, yep, there is a hot cam. Aha. So the cam actually is a hot cam. That's pretty cool. You guys can see right in there. I'll kind of turn it over here. Oh man, the compression's insane. You can see hot cams. UB25. So I'm not sure if it's stage 3, stage 2. What do you guys think? Let me know if you guys know in the comments. But everything looks really good. Cams aren't worn at all. Jeez, compression is crazy on this thing. Yeah, lobes aren't worn at all. Looks like a brand new cam. The guy did say there's like 0 ride time on this. He said maybe 10 minutes. Because the guy couldn't get it started after spending all this money on it. So that's just crazy. But check out this cam chain here. Check how much play is in that. Look how much play is down there. And then, so that has to be the culprit. We'll quick check the valves and see what they're at. But I'm pretty sure it's the cam chain. That feels really, really loose. So we gotta get the cap off right there. He already had this off, checking the timing. But we'll check the timing again and the valves. And you can see there's an Allen. It's for, looks like it might be an 8. Yeah. So 8mm Allen goes in there. And then you can just rotate this engine over. You want to spin it clockwise here. And there's going to be a little dot on the sprocket down here. And that's going to line up with the arrow right there. See the little arrow? Kind of zoom in so you guys can see. There's a little arrow right there. It's going to line up with the dot. And here, I'll show you guys the dot once I find it. Okay, I found the T in there. Let's see if you guys can see. See, there's a line with a T next to it. See, there's a line right there. And a line down there. And that's parallel to the surface of the head. So he did do the timing correctly based on the T. Valves are pointing this way. All right. And then we come down here and there should be a dot next to that. So let's see. Maybe it's up just a little bit higher. Yep, there it is. All right, so timing spot on. It was just up a little bit higher, so we went past the T before. But you can see it's in line with the arrow. I just had it at the wrong angle. So timing is on. Let's rotate this over one more time just to make sure everything's good. And it does feel pretty smooth in here as well. All right, now we'll go 180 the other direction here. And there should be a T on the flywheel. All right, there's a T, and that dot is still there. You can see the dot is still up on the sprocket there. See, there's the dot right there. And then coming over here, the sprocket is perfectly in time. You can see the cutout divot right there and right there, perfectly parallel to the surface of the head. So we know timing is on. So he set the timing correctly on this, which is awesome. Let's check the valve clearances, make sure those are within spec. You want the intake valves to be 0.006 inches. So we're gonna see if they are. Yep. They just grab right there. See that? How they grab right there and get tight? That one too. That one feels good. Then the exhaust is I believe it's 0.011. And those are right here. Let's just see what those are at. Yeah, those feel great. Yep, those are perfect. Now, if we do have a stage 3, what would we need to adjust the valve clearances to? Let me know in the comments. I know with the 400EX, you don't have to adjust the valve clearances if you have a stage 3. You can just keep them stock. But I think with the TRX450, you do have to adjust them. I tried to look it up online. Nobody really has the answers. But yeah, valves look good. So I don't think valves are the ticking sound. I'm pretty sure we know it's the cam chain at this point. And that's just really loose. So to get the cam chain out, we've got to, I wonder if we can get it out without tearing apart the whole engine. I think we can. We just have to get the flywheel off. All right, before we go any further with it, let's just see what that tensioner looks like in there. Maybe the tensioner is not going out all the way, tensioning the chain. I know he checked it over, but I want to check it over one more time. So we'll take that out. And we should be able to get a screwdriver in there and kind of turn it. Yeah, it's still loose. Pretty tight right there, actually. But I think that's gonna come back out and loosen up. Because it should automatically tension the chain. Huh. So the chain tightened up. See, that's what it's supposed to feel like. See, there's no slop in there now. Let's take that cam chain tensioner out completely and just see if we can make it tighter. Here's the tensioner here. You can see how there's that little bit of play right there. So when we were tensioning it, the extra couple millimeters at the end there is what I do with the screwdriver, and that's what was tensioning it a little bit more. Look at that. Go quite a bit more with it. That's weird, kind of. Look how much further you can go out if you tension it manually. So I wonder if the tensioner is just not working. Because look where it goes back down to. So it sinks quite a bit. Look at that. Alright, so let's see if we can open this guy up and see what's going on. We do have a spare one for parts. So there's that clip right there that goes on there. This is gonna pull out. There's the rod. And there's actually a spring in here. Let's see. I don't want to break it. And that's pretty much it. So that spring's not worn out, I don't think. Why would that not be working properly? Let's just see. We'll put this back in and put this on here first. That spins alone. Okay, so see how that's going in and out like that. Okay, so we might have a problem with a part in here. It's almost like something stripped out in there. Like the last couple threads are stripped. Just take a look in here. Doesn't appear to be stripped out anywhere. All right, so I think we fixed it. So now, when we try to twist it out, so you can't twist it out anymore. It's all the way out. You can go back in with it. And now it springs back out and holds that really tight. So what I did was I coiled that spring more, so it had more tension. Now it like just shoots out like that, all the way. And you can't go any further with it. So let's try to reinstall that and see what happens. That might be the fix right there. All right, I got this little tool that keeps it tensioned while I reinstall it. So once I take that little piece of metal out, my tool, it'll tension itself. It should get pretty tight. So we'll see here. We'll see if it'll tighten up the cam chain enough. All right, there we go. Well, feels really tight. See, that's barely moving. See, you can't, it doesn't have any slack now. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, baby. So we're gonna rotate that over a couple times, make sure, and we'll make sure that that stays like that. But I think the tensioner was just broken. All right, here we go, moment of truth. Will it still have the tick? But we got rid of the ticking. That was the main thing. So now we've got to, I believe, do jetting. We've got to get an air filter for it as well. So let's dig into the carburetor and see what there is for jets. Then we'll kind of go from there. But we fixed one thing. All right, so I went to go start this thing back up and it lost spark. So I tried changing out the spark plug, no difference. I messed with the kill switch and that didn't seem to help. So we're gonna try to diagnose that next. There's two kill switches on it, one right here and one right there. So I'm gonna look at those first. All right, I disconnected both kill switches and bypassed those and still no spark. I checked the pickup coil and still no spark, so I disconnected that and I made sure those leads were cleaned. And then I took the black and red wire going from the stator and grounded that to the frame and no spark. So I'm thinking that we have a problem with the stator. I'm gonna drain out the oil and we'll take off this cover right here and just see what's going on. Maybe a Woodruff key sheared off or something got in there and crunched stuff up. All right, so it looks like the fan comes on when I kick it over. So I know the stator is making power. I'm wondering if it's the pickup coil. So what I'm gonna do is test the pickup coil again. The leads look fine, but I'm gonna check for resistance and do an ohm reading test on that. All right, so the pickup coil is the green and blue one coming out right there. And it leads into the blue and green plug right here that I disconnected. So that reading, ohm reading, should be, let's see, it should be 180 to 280 ohms. And another guy said he got 242 ohms on his. So let's just see what we get here. Turn this on. So we're getting 233 ohms. So we are within spec for the pickup coil. All right, on to the next step. All right, we've got spark again. All I did was remove the two switches from the CDI and plug them back in. And now we have spark. So I wonder if those connections were bad. Check this out. Yeah, we got her back. All right, so it must have been the connections in the CDI causing us issues. All right, instead of taking the whole carburetor out, I just put the air box back in. We're gonna take out the little bolt for the main jet here. Gas is gonna drip everywhere. Got my bucket down below here. We're running. Oh, there's some crud in the carburetor. Most likely, if they change the main for the pipe and the big bore and the piston, then they probably change the pilot as well. We are running a 175. So let me look that up and see what we're supposed to be running with the full exhaust system and the piston. That's 13.5 to 1. All right, so it looks like with this pipe and without an airbox lid, people are running like 175 and a 50 for the pilot. So we're right in that range. We're 175. So I think he rejetted for the pipe with this carburetor, and he seemed to know what he was doing, except for the timing, which was off. So the carburetor's definitely rejetted because main on these are 118. So we are definitely running a bigger jet than main, way bigger. All right, so I noticed that there's no coolant in it. There's nothing in there that I can see. So let's try to top that off and see what's going on with that. I'm hoping it's not leaking into the engine. There's like nothing in there. Wow, there's not a drop of coolant in there. So I'm wondering if that's why he sold it so cheap. I have a feeling that's not working either. What the heck? I think what we're gonna do first is quick start it up and see if that sucks any coolant into the engine before we do the oil. I just want to see if the oil gets milky. bolt's loose. So he definitely drained it. Yeah, he had it off. But the leaking was just from the bolt being loose. Alright, let's get underneath here. Well, it doesn't look white so far. You'd be able to instantly tell. Huh. Wonder why he drained it. But coolant. Yeah, so far it's not looking bad. Alright, so oil for the engine side looks pretty good. No chunks in there. Alright, let's do the transmission side now. So the drain plug for this is right underneath the brake, right here. So again, it's a 12 millimeter. Alright, so it's actually able to break this bolt loose underneath here by taking a wrench and going up through there. So then I can take a hammer and break that free without having to take off the Nerf bars. So let's see if this oil is white. This is the side that would be white on. If there's anything in here, he said he put oil in it, so we'll see. Yeah, there's some coming out. Doesn't look white. But we'll let that drain and inspect it. Alright, so maybe the guy wasn't pulling one over on me. Oil looks good. Maybe he just forgot to fill up the coolant. That'd be a first. Somebody actually telling the truth about something. Wow. Yeah, no chunks in there whatsoever. Oh god, nice and clean. Alright, let's see what the oil filter looks like here. Spread it all the way. Okay. Doesn't look bad. See if there's any shavings in it. Wow, no shavings. That's something. A little spring in there. Don't want to mess that up. Yeah, that's not too bad. Alright, everything checks out. Alright, so far everything is checking out. The oil looks good and clean. Definitely no coolant in the oil. I thought for sure there would be after we found that the coolant was empty, but there wasn't, so that is awesome. So I guess next video we are going to put everything back together, all the plastics back on, get the light working, get some fresh oil in there, and attempt to take this thing for the first ride. This thing is going to fly with all the mods to this thing. Stage 3 cam, you've got the 13.5 to 1 piston. It's just gonna fly. We do have to get an air filter for it, and it looks like an air filter cage as well. So I do have to order that up for the first ride. But stay tuned and we'll take the first ride. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next video. And until next time, we are out.